Oh, hi there. Hello, how's it going? Now moving past the COVID 19 problem, I do think it is important to revisit old topics for simply remembering them and also keeping some memory. And the fact is that there's still prevalent topics of discussion today. Uh, and what I'm going to bring up is my involuntary celibacy. I'm going to talk about myself because I have been gathering evidence that suggests I don't live a normal life, not by any stretch of the imagination. Does that make me special and unique? Well, I'm totally boss anyway, so, other people might disagree, but, they're entitled to their opinion. I don't tell people what to think, I just don't want them to fuck around with me. Anyway, yeah, I don't get any action from the ladies. Haven't well, for the most part, my whole life. However, most notably in the last, 20 years, so it's kind of a soft spot, like, a topic that, is not the easiest to explain. And the problem is, I may not think that there's a lot of people watching my YouTube videos. However, there might actually be a lot of people watching my YouTube videos, and that may not be a good thing. Especially if they got the wrong sort of ideas on as to what they expected from me. I know it's a bit selfish to, bring up things like this, but it's actually not considering my circumstances. Yeah. My interactions with women are limited. And this is because of a variety of reasons um, that aren't my fault. Um, as I said, people had different opinions as to what Iron Drac was supposed to be. And, I am not apologetic in the sense that if you expected other things from me and that's not what's happening, too fucking bad. Alright? Because you're a bunch of assholes. And I don't have to care what you think. I mean, I guess I do have to a little bit because I may never get action. Otherwise, I could be trapped in a dungeon for 100 years. Who knows? I'm not gonna croak anytime soon, but I see no end in sight of the bullshit. And the bullshit is only gonna change dimensions as as time goes on. To talk about my particular case of involuntary celibacy, there are other factors that have to be brought up. I'm going to explain something that makes total sense, but is strange to somebody who's never experienced it before. Uh, I know I have irritated a few people. Uh, this I know for a fact. For example, I'm not going to get into detail about what establishment it is, where it is, or even when it is, necessarily in that order. However, there has been people, whom have been in positions where they felt as though they had legitimate reason for not liking me. Not that I couldn't crush their arguments right then and there. And had the personality type, I could sense it, that they would approach me and say something about it. But they didn't. This particular individual I was thinking of, minimum wage job, it means nothing to him. But he will not engage in this discussion I know he wants to have, and it isn't his minimum wage job that is inhibiting him from doing it. It's something else, and I don't know what that something else is. And that in itself is proof that there's something screwy going around. And I know these things. I've been keeping a log, an evidence log of why all this stuff is important, and I don't try to dwell on it or anything like that, but I put it in a scrapbook, and I observe and I notice things that are preposterous, absolutely preposterous. And yet they're fact. Facts are often stranger than fiction. And why this particular thing is important, it means there's a set of rules around me. What people can say, what they can't, when they can say it, how they say it. Preferably they don't say anything at all. And it's like, what in the fuck kind of power could do that? What in the fuck kind of power could do that? As I said, this person didn't give a shit about their minimum wage job. In fact, I think them telling me off would be more important than their minimum wage job, actually. So, and all that is all strange. And I'm foreseeing a future where there's always going to be rules around me. And that could be a scary thing, because one of the main rules is to deny that anything is going on at all. And I'm noticing that in other aspects, that there are people, who would like to show up and, somehow be, they don't know anything about me, blah, blah, blah. They're here. It's by coincidence. And that's what it's going to be like with women. And they'll pretend like the whole story of Iron Drag didn't happen. And it's like, no, it did. I saw it happen. Don't tell me it didn't happen. That's bullshit. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to convince me otherwise. I may nod my head and go, but that don't mean I believe your fucking story. And to believe that, you were an involuntary celibate because it's your own fault. You weren't proactive. You didn't go out there. You didn't try. Shut the fuck up. That's bullshit. There's that. And, I don't like the idea of not being able to select the chicks I would like to go out with. Obviously, even someone like me has his standards, of course. And if I were a different person, there would be other aspects of relationships that would be different because of social circumstances. But because I am who I am, and what I have seen, the message I've heard, a lot of it is from the internet, unfortunately, but also my day-to-day experiences. Other people think they have the right to choose for me because I don't know what's best for myself. And it's like, no, I don't want some creep I've never even met before telling me what my business is. And what I am going to say is, no Asian women, no black women. At least for the time being. Because I know immediately what they're going to try and do, and they'll use their sexual powers to try and brainwash me into being indoctrinated into their thought process. I like the way how I think. I've developed my personality, and sure, there's a lot of things I don't quite understand about the world. I think everybody walks this planet in that kind of situation. So, if I were a different dude with a different set of circumstances, sure, black chick would be fine. Sure, Asian chick would be fine. But I'm not. I'm here as Iron Drag. And I gotta tell you, What society wants me to do and what I'm going to do are two different things entirely, because what society wants me to do is to, as I've said before, pull the, Keanu Reeves from the Matrix and sacrifice myself for the greater good. And it's like, I don't feel like doing that. It doesn't sound like a good idea to me. It sounds like a bullshit idea. So that's what's not happening. And, as far as black chicks go, the first thing, guaranteed, there are black dudes around. And, it's like a totally unfair trade. Like, I'd never trade a white chick for a black chick. That's the honest truth. And I don't feel bad about saying that. And then they're gonna bring their culture around and be egregiously offended by my culture. And it's like, we're incompatible. I can't stand black music. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't stand it. A lot of white guys have been brainwashed because of the generation gap, I suppose, into liking modern rap music. I can't stand rap music. It is the worst garbage out there. Okay, old-time black music like Fats Domino, and, Booker T and other various black musicians throughout time. Jimi Hendrix, sure, yeah, those guys are great. But if you expect me to listen to some of the garbage that's out there in exchange for getting a little touching going on, no. And again, if I have to smile and nod and go, yeah, sure, then I guess that's what I gotta do, because, I'm not going to change my opinion on that music. Black music sucks. It's terrible. And there is a metaphor for why, you can understand why black people want to feel proud about their accomplishments and all that sort of stuff, and the things that they're up to and their culture. Fine, that's understandable. However, they'll want to bring in that culture to me, and it isn't going to work. And then, of course, there's the white people who also subscribe to this train of thought. And they would accuse me of being a black guy. And that's the strangest, most dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life, but that's what they would do. I'm clearly Caucasian. I'm a white guy. However, the metaphor behind that is that essentially the chicks have their group of friends and all that sort of stuff. I've already made it clear. I'm not going to like them. They're not going to like me. I'm not going to like them for a lot of reasons. We will get into that in other videos. And I would rather that they didn't like me either. The thing is, they'll go, well, he's basically the guy who comes in from the shadow and swoops in and sweeps the girl off her feet. And, they're no longer friends with her. And therefore, he's as bad as a black guy. And, there's that mentality. And also, there'll be other women that are actually interested in me, believe it or not. From certain angles, I'm actually not a bad-looking guy. Who will want me to feel jealous because of how jealous they feel. And they feel this sanctimonious need to express that. And let's get one thing straight. When the term black guy is used, there are plenty of white guys who would be considered the bad guy, the black guy, whom I also don't like. So it's not actually a skin pigmentation thing, necessarily. I'm in no mood to, have to deal with another dude to score chicks. I've earned the right to have a woman and not have any problems. Of course, that in itself is a problem, because then the women might get too clingy, and then it could be, a bit of a messy situation, and I don't want that either. I think I should be treated with respect, and that's something I've not been treated with for a very long time, and it's like, Who the fuck are you to not respect me? You're a piece of trash. And some people go, well, if you're pointing the finger at someone, it's like you're pointing the finger at yourself. And it's like, are you a fucking retard or what? I can see what you're doing, and you saying, this is what it is, doesn't negate what I've said. You think it does, but it doesn't. You're entitled to think what you want. I'm not trying to stop you from doing that. However, do not try to tell me what to think. Because I simply am not going to put up with it. It's rubbish. And I know the kind of stupid things people will say. You always get people going, oh, no women are interested in you anyway, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, shut the fuck up, asshole. What the fuck have you got? What the fuck do you have? And you have the audacity to fucking talk to me like that? No respect. And, there is such a thing as, and I have mentioned this before, predatory women who use the simpler people to do their bidding, and, they got a lot of really fucked up opinions because of their experiences in life, maybe, who knows what, all kinds of things. I don't know. I haven't met him yet, but there are some people out there, it's all about control. And that's what my life really is. It's really a vague, inspecific, obsessive-compulsive control. I'm constantly being told what to do. Not directly, but through circumstance. And it's like, if you think you can mold me, manipulate me, indoctrinate me into thinking the way you want me to, I am making it a very, very serious point that you are not going to be able to do that. We are long past your being able to do that. I've known that for a long, long time. I don't exactly know how to fix this situation, but, rolling over and dying isn't exactly on my options list. I'm not a quitter. Quitters, they can be quitters if they want. I'm not one. So yeah, getting back to that example where I was saying, what was stopping this person from saying what they wanted to say to me? What was it? What in the fuck had the power to make them say nothing? And also not sound crazy while they were doing it? Like, what is it? Is, the clown from It? Is that the Prime Minister? Is that who's in charge? Because, what in the fuck? It is fucking insane. Yeah, and, I have to make a point that I'm not a pushover. I'm not somebody who, is gonna simply go with the flow and, take the things he doesn't like because the greater audience thinks he's got to learn lessons about life and this is what he's got to do, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to learn your stupid fucking lessons, and for a good reason. I have plenty of things I want to learn about in the world, and there are things I don't give one tinker shit about. And I have no interest in learning about. And, there's people out there who want to treat me like I'm a sucker, like I'm a loser, who's just gonna do whatever it is that they tell me to do. And that is insanity. That is absolute insanity. I'll never be happy if I have to live like that. And, it's not the answer people want to hear. People don't want that. They want me to be a pushover so that they get what they want, essentially, because of all the bickering they've done amongst themselves. That's your fucking problem. That's not my problem. That had nothing to do with me. You may be using me as the boogeyman or whatever as an excuse for your problems, but that's bullshit, and we all know it. It's problems you've created amongst yourselves. So it's your fault, not my fault. I know you don't like hearing that. I know people don't like taking the blame for anything, do they? Yeah, well, guess what? You're going to have to take that blame whether you like it or not. I mean, it wouldn't be me enforcing it. It'd be somebody else, but, that's your fucking problem. Yeah, I got my own problems here. So, I'm sorry the world's not perfect. However, it is what it is. And, yeah, these women, like, it is going to have to be a bit like, what would be a good example of a metaphor or something? Not that I watch any of these shows, but like, I don't know, like The Apprentice or like American Idol or something like that, where it's like, it could be, a made up reason for not liking somebody. Simply because there's only a limited amount of spaces available. I don't want to know a lot of people. Well, I mean, I want to have a normal social life and go out and have fun and that kind of stuff, but do I really want a big swath of human locust attacking me and pushing me in different directions and wanting things out of me that I don't want to do? Absolutely not. But would like a little bit. Some of the perks of being popular, of course. Those would be nice. And I think that's a reasonable goal. And the thing is, what I do have to be careful about is people lie and they make up stories. And even associating with them validates what they're saying, even if it's not true, and even if the people that listen to their story don't actually believe them. They might perpetuate that idea. Like, for example, me going with a black chick. I might be telling her, no, I don't like black rap. I don't like this. I don't like that. These are things about your culture I do not like. I don't like your continent. Africa is a shithole where lots of horrendous things happen all the fucking time. I don't like the blame game white people have to take from black people. Fuck you, you're a bunch of assholes. Anyway. Yeah, but the thing is, me going with a black chick is validating her lies. Because I gotta face facts. There's a lot of people who are gonna lie to me all the friggin' time because that's the easiest way they can get what they want. I'm gonna know they're lying. And, again, I'll have to be, that's right. Whatever, fine. But not actually going to believe them. I'm actually very good at detecting when people are fucking lying, especially when they're not good at it. So, I am not validating their lies by associating with them at this point in time. And, this obviously comes with the problem that as soon as I pick a white chick, inevitably men are going to come around whom I'm going to instantly dislike. And they may not necessarily be black, as in black people. Like I said, they could be the boogeyman supposed to, make me feel jealous, probably intimidate me a little bit, whatever. And you know what? I don't want to put up with them. I really don't want to put up with them. I have gone through enough already. I've had my share of bad times. I don't let it get me down or anything like that, but no, I'm not putting up with your bullshit. And again, that's not the answer they want to hear. And, it is totally fucking premeditating when these people conjure up these fucking plans ahead of time, and like, how the hell am I supposed to know? Like, it's a physical impossibility for me to know, actually, exactly what it is that they're going to do. All I know is they're going to do something. That's all I know. So, am I gonna, play the game 100% correct? No, because I don't know what's gonna happen. However, these lessons society wants me to learn, you can take those lessons in your little scrapbook that you have planned for me, turn that bitch son bitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass, because I don't want to know about it. And yeah, that's definitely another thing they don't want to hear. We had all these plans and we've been thinking about it. We've been negotiating these plans for you for a long time. We would really appreciate it if you did them. No. Yeah, a double no on that. No. And obviously, like, when a woman comes around, I can't be like, wow, I've met my soulmate. This is who the women I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, that would make me kind of a douchebag. I'd rather not be a douchebag at this point in time. It's not like couldn't be, especially the, getting the groove on sort of thing at a reasonable pace. I'm not used to being touched. So it's going to have to be a little bit slower than some people would expect. Yeah, because I'm simply not used to being touched. It's, something I could overcome for sure, but, I'm not used to it at this point in time. And who would be in my position? When was the last meaningful time a woman touched me? That was years ago. I think it was a handshake or something like that. So, like, yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time, and I gotta figure them out first and what they're up to. However, I will stress that it is going to be a white woman that I go with first. Not a black chick, not an Asian chick. And that is because I know when they turn around, they're going to start telling lies. And when they start telling lies, me being with them validates their lies. And they'll do it for their own reasons. They probably don't even have a choice. But they'll do it anyway. That is the problem. And I am not going to put up with it. And I'm not an obsessive compulsive person. If somebody has tastes that are different than mine, that's perfectly fine. Maybe I'll learn something. But if it's the complete opposite of what I am, then obviously I'm not going to tolerate it. And the funny thing is, well, women don't have the same psychological decision making as men do in regards to a member of the opposite sex going with someone of a different race. White women prefer it. This is how their bribery for a guy like me is. They go, "Ooh, look, here's a black chick. She's been screwing around with a bunch of people, especially black guys. But here's a black chick. Here's an Asian chick. Here's your little treat that you've earned." Meanwhile, I've been abused for a long time, so I deserve something a little better than that. Except for white guys, they don't really like that because, let's face it, I don't want some ape going with my woman, not for sure. So it is a bit nepotistic going, well, if a white guy goes with her, it's not as bad. However, it is, because you don't know how badly I'm going to dislike these white guys that have gone with the chicks before me. Because I can't expect them to all have been nuns and, not done anything. Of course they're going to have screwed around. I mean, that's a given, because I am a unique person who has been left out of the fray, unfortunately. I'm still happy with where I am relatively anyway. Things could be better, but you could say that about everybody. I mean, there are people out there that, they're very wealthy in the sense that they are able to go with members of the opposite sex and have regular sex lives. But they're renters and they have a shitty job. It's all, and like, I don't have a shitty job and I'm not a renter. So, I got things going on that they don't have. So, yes, being able to get sex is a form of wealth. But it's not the only form of wealth. Like, money is not the only form of wealth. And, yeah, there are going to be guys out there that I really, really cannot stand. And, that people go, well, that's, how do you exist in the world and not have to be around some people that you don't like? What, do you want everything? You want, the perfect life and, not have to worry about anything? Maybe. I mean, yes, I'm going to have to deal with people I don't like. And that includes women, too. There are going to be women out there that I really don't like. Because I don't like women. I don't like controlling women, actually. I don't like it when they're bitches. I don't like it when they're bitches to other women. And I don't like when they, conspire like witches to put me in a situation I don't want to be in. Because I know that is definitely a problem. Oh, yeah. This really is a crazy old world we live in, isn't it? Really crazy. And, this is a prime example why women cannot be in positions of power. No offense, but as soon as you do, all these stupid fucking problems come up. Yeah, so, like, I do not even want to talk about how bitchy a bitchy woman could be. That does not sound fun at all. And I don't like the idea of how much of a bastard some men can be as well. These are definitely problems I'm going to have to deal with. However, I'm going to try and avoid them and, downplay them or outright put a stop to them somehow. I don't know yet. But, yeah, I gotta tell you, it's not ideal circumstances. You know, yeah, I gotta put my foot down and make things clear that, we're not doing this your way. And I'm talking to the collective group that is following me on social media. We are not doing this your way. Your way is not what's happening. I don't care if you don't like it, and I don't give a damn if it makes you angry. Because guess what? You're not actually very intelligent, and I don't respect you as a human being. So, gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, I will talk to people later, but I think I'm gonna have a little drink first, if you don't mind. I like having these every now and then. They taste nice, make you feel good. I'm not a angry drunk or anything like that, most of the time anyway. And if my social circumstances were a little bit better, I'd have less reason to be in a bad mood. But people don't take that into consideration. But anyway, cheers.